Hey, what's up guys? Today, I'll show you a horror film, Mirrors. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. One night, a man is seen running away from something in a subway. He looks at his reflection and comes across a locked room and breaks in. He enters the locker room and sees a window leading to an exit. As soon as the man opens the window, it reveals a dead end. The locker within the room suddenly opens, showing many mirrors. He walks toward the big mirror in the center of the room and apologizes while cleaning it. He continues cleaning the mirror and a broken shard falls on the floor. He picks up the shard and his reflection just stands still. He sees this strange behavior as the reflection begins slitting his own throat with the shard. We then see Ben, a dismissed cop, taking his morning PTSD medication. After prepping himself, he says goodbye to his sister and heads out. In the busy streets of New York, Ben arrives at a job interview with Lorenzo from the morning shift. Lorenzo talks to Ben about the history and tragedy of the Mayflower department store. Lorenzo states that the place is creepy and is curious about Ben's past, but Ben politely refuses to answer. After Ben gets the job, we then see him visit his children, the son Michael and the daughter. Ben's wife, Amy, breaks into an argument about Ben and his schizophrenia as it causes communication problems between them. Ben tries to fix this issue by flirting and convincing her everything will be fine. Amy stops the advances of Ben and things become awkward. Then Ben leaves the house. The following night, Ben prepares for his first shift on guarding the store premises and gets himself some coffee to keep awake. He then enters the Mayflower and proceeds to patrol the building. The buildings cause an eerie atmosphere around him from the misshapen statues. When Ben notices the mirror, he looks closer to see handprints that he can't wipe off. The mirror then shows a reflection of the door behind him open. Ben follows the reflection and opens the door leading to a basement of sorts. As Ben turns on the power to the basement, an ominous force closes the door where Ben enters. The next day, Ben is taking his morning pills as his sister asks if he is okay and gives him some advice. Ben washes his face and looks up. Right then, he is shocked to see a deformed reflection of his face in the mirror. Amy rushes over to him to ask if he is okay, but Ben lashes out at her, telling her to leave him alone. Ben starts questioning his sanity. The following night, Ben proceeds to investigate the Mayflower. He then arrives at a hallway with a huge mirror and sees the same handprints from before. When Ben further inspects the handprints, the mirror breaks and cuts his palm. He looks again at the mirror when two burning women appear in the reflection. The flames from the reflection approach Ben, and then he feels the fire burning all over his body. After being burned in the reflection, Ben notices a wallet, and he heads to the guardhouse to heal and investigate. The wallet belongs to Gary, the man from the beginning of the movie. Ben searches the contents of the wallet for clues and finds a paper with the word Essaker. Ben heads straight back to the building to find more clues. While searching, he hears a woman screaming, asking for help within the building. Ben tries to find the woman and ends up in a dressing room. As he searches the dressing room, an arm appears from behind him in the mirror's reflection. Ben tries to take a closer look by bringing the mirror to that area of the room. He sees a shaking figure on the floor behind the curtain. After taking a closer look, after taking off the curtain, he sees a badly burnt woman reaching out to him as the burn marks get worse. Meanwhile, at Amy's home, we see Michael having nightmares by the same screaming woman that Ben saw previously. Amy dismisses it as a dream, and she goes back to sleep. As she turns off the TV, the burnt woman screams on the screen, affecting Michael's sleep. After Ben's work, he talks to his sister in a bar about the things he saw in the mirror. The sister thinks that it is only from stress over his past mistake and tells Ben to rest. The next day, Ben receives a package from Gary before his death, showing articles regarding the Mayflower fire accident. Ben goes to his workplace and asks Lorenzo about the incident, but Lorenzo informs him of Gary's death instead. As Amy is working on body autopsy reports, Ben visits her to ask about Gary's autopsy report. When Ben checks on Gary's body, he is surprised by the reflection of Gary saying the word Essaker. Ben further asks for more files on Gary's death, and Amy reluctantly accepts. He then sees a picture where the reflection shows that Gary died by his own reflection. Ben explains this to Amy, theorizing that mirrors are different realities. Amy thinks he is insane because of the pills he takes and doesn't take him seriously. Ben apologizes to Amy and leaves to avoid bothering her more. We then see the mirror ominously aiming for Ben's sister, who is preparing to take a bath. She undresses and heads to the bathtub, but her reflection stands still and watches her. After a while, the reflection then pulls her jaws apart as she panics in the bathtub, screaming in pain. The following day, the police arrive, and a detective later introduces Larry, investigates the sister's cause of death. He's shocked to see that her whole jaw is separated in a gory manner. Ben then arrives to see that there are witnesses in the house and rushes to his sister's room. Larry sees Ben and prevents him from going inside to see the sister, but Ben forces himself in. When Ben witnesses the death of his sister, he falls into despair. As Ben is still in grief with his sister, Amy and Larry speak about the cause of death and if Ben could be a suspect. Amy refuses this allegation and says that Ben would never hurt his sister. She goes over to Ben to comfort him for his loss, but Ben is focused on the mirrors as he believes it is the cause of her death. He tries to leave while Amy stops her and tells him to ask for help. Ben says that she and Larry wouldn't believe him and then leaves the premises. At the Mayflower, Ben tries to destroy the mirrors located there. He manages to break the mirror, but the mirror can even repair itself. Ben asks for what the mirror wants, and the mirror writes on itself the word Essaker once again. Ben starts looking for any traces or clues relating to Essaker, but only manages to find the arsonist, who is blamed for the cause of the Mayflower arson. Ben heads for the psychiatric detention center, where the arsonist was admitted. Before the arsonist died, video footage of him screaming the name Essaker keeps repeating. The arsonist told the people that the mirrors even killed his family, which gave Ben a warning he heeds. After that, Ben rushes to Amy's home and starts removing and sealing all mirrors in the house. Amy is called by Rosa, their housekeeper, and she tells Amy about the situation. Amy arrives home later and confronts Ben to stop his insanity from affecting their kids. Ben tries to prove he is telling the truth by shooting the mirrors, but scares his family instead. He apologizes to his wife and kids and proceeds to leave the premises. Ben drives off to fix the problem himself. Meanwhile, in the rearview mirror, he sees a reflection of his dead sister and gets distracted, almost dying that time. Soon after, Ben returns to the Mayflower basement to find clues and solutions. He finds a weakened wall with a sign saying St. Matthew's Hospital, stating that this is the former area of their operations. As Ben breaks down the wall, he investigates further inside. The room behind the broken wall shows a chair used to bind mental patients. The area surrounding the chair is filled with mirrors. Ben checks his surroundings, especially the mirrors, and feels a strange presence. That presence then scares the shit out of Ben by shooting him from the reflection, which however doesn't hurt him. Ben heads to the guardhouse and asks Larry to find the manifest on patients and employees from the hospital with the Essaker name. Larry and Ben meet up after finding results, and Ben asks Larry for details on the case of Anna Essaker. Ben discovers that Dr. Kane treated psychiatric patients but ended up dead after allegedly killing multiple people, including Anna. Ben reads about Anna and finds that she is still alive in Pennsylvania, and she's the one wanted by the presence in the mirror. The next day, Amy hears her son Michael speaking to himself and tells him to prepare to leave. She is shocked to see that Michael's reflection stays seated while looking at her. Panicking, she calls Ben and asks for help, now that she believes his story about mirrors being dangerous. Ben hurries over to Amy's house and starts removing and sealing anything that creates reflections. After adding protection to the house, Ben bids farewell to his kids and wife. Amy apologizes for not believing in him and tells him to end this curse. Later, Ben travels to Pennsylvania to find the location of Anna through her relatives. Ben asks the people at the farm about Anna and meets her brother. The brother explains Anna's situation about her schizophrenia to Ben. Some believe it is a possession, but Dr. Kane, who offered help at that time, believed it as a rare disorder. Dr. Kane offered to help Anna and covered all her expenses at the hospital. After Dr. Kane treated her, Anna's brother revealed that she once stayed at their home after an early discharge from the hospital. The brother says that Anna at that time experienced weird things in the house, especially the mirrors. So Anna was then sent by her family to a monastery with no mirrors, where the presence couldn't find her. Ben heads straight to the monastery after hearing Anna's brother out. He enters the monastery and begs to meet Sister Anna. Soon after, Anna and Ben have a conversation about the presence of a demon. According to Anna, Dr. Kane unintentionally exorcised it, and that is the reason why Dr. Kane got killed. Anna fears that if Ben brings her back to the demon, she might unleash evil onto the world. Ben tries to guilt her into helping him before raging out at her. Later, at Amy's house, Michael's demonic reflection starts to make its move. Amy notices that Michael is missing and starts searching for him while informing Ben. Amy tells Ben that the protection in the house is undone and that there is water everywhere. Ben warns her to avoid the water when a phone is dropped on the ground. Ben becomes desperate at this moment as he kidnaps Sister Anna. Meanwhile, at Amy's house, she is trying to stop the flooding of water. The son Michael's reflection suddenly appears and drowns Amy in the bathtub as she struggles to break free. We then see Ben's daughter being lured by the demon, and she arrives at Michael's bedroom. A reflection of her mom appears and grabs her from behind. Amy manages to break free and save her daughter when her own reflections start slicing the daughter's neck. Amy patches her daughter's wound and proceeds to find Michael. Downstairs, Amy encounters Michael and tries to stop him with his knife. Michael refuses to cooperate and runs off with the knife. She tries to chase her son and notices a reflection under the table. As she closes into the reflection, she is suddenly slashed across the cheek, and the reflection runs off upstairs. Meanwhile, Ben and sister Anna arrive at the Mayflower to confront the demon. The mirrors of the building become active as Anna is sensed within the building. They soon arrive towards the room with many mirrors, and Anna sacrifices herself for Ben's family. Meanwhile, Amy spots her son playing with the reflection, but the reflection pulls Michael in to drown him. Anna then attracts the attention of the mirrors and manages to destroy the mirrors and save her son from drowning. Ben calls out to Anna, finding that she is fully possessed by the demon in the mirror. The demon and Ben have a full-on confrontation. The building experiences a series of explosions from the basement and causes a collapse, killing the demon and trapping Ben. Amy manages to complete her CPR and rejoice at the safety of her kids. Ben also wakes up from the rubble underneath the building and escapes from there. He then approaches the emergency service personnel but notices something strange. Aside from himself being ignored, everything from his perspective is inverted. He comes to a terrifying revelation that he is somehow stuck in the mirror dimension. He puts his hand on one of the glasses outside, and it shows that he is the same as one of the people, trapped inside the Mayflower mirror's reality. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.